Hello and welcome. My name is Rashi Mogha and I'm your host for this Empowered Women of the World podcast. This podcast is for you. It is for me and it is for all women who want to take charge of their career and happiness. In this weekly podcast, we'll talk about technology, we'll talk about leadership, and we will talk about mindfulness. We'll talk about how you can discover, visualize, and actualize your success, whatever that means to you. We will also talk about our common opponent, the conscious and unconscious bias which we deal with on daily basis. And we'll share ways to navigate work politics. At the end of each podcast, I will share with you a tip or a resource that you can use to be successful. It's going to be a fun ride, so hop on and join me on this journey every week. So today's podcast is on how to let go of something that's hurting or bothering you. Last week, I was faced with a situation where a loved one said something about me that was really hurtful. If I hadn't heard it myself, I would have never believed that the person would have said something that would hurt me so much. The pain lingered on for a few days. It made me sad and I curled up into my shell. I was snapping at my family for no reason, so I knew that I had to let go. Now, what is letting go? Letting go is basically deciding that you will no longer ruminate on things that are out of your control and focus on what you can control instead. It's also about releasing emotions that disrupt your happiness. Now, I must say that I find it really hard to let go. I take things way too personally, so it takes me longer to let go. And here is a process that I follow. Obviously, I need a process to kind of let go because it takes me so long to let go. First one is to accept the hurt. Now, the first step is to accepting the fact and acknowledging how I feel. And that helps me name my emotion. It can be hurt, it can be anger, it can be frustration, or it can be something else. Naming my emotion helps me address it better. So identify what is hurting you. Is it anger? Is it frustration? What kind of emotion do you have when you think about the hurt? The second one is being kind to yourself. Don't blame yourself for the situation. When you are hurt, the first reaction is to try finding fault with yourself. What wrong did I do to this person? Why did this person behave like that with me? Or why did this situation happen to me? What wrong did I do? What was wrong in me? How were my actions wrong? Everything becomes about blaming yourself. We keep replaying the situation in our head to try to find a reason for the hurt. Now, I go into this mode often and I have to remind myself to stop blaming myself and being kind to myself. The third step is to write down the situation. Now, here I take a step back and write the situation as it happened. Just facts, no emotions. And by writing the situation, I give myself an opportunity to look at the situation objectively and see if the hurt is as much as I think it is. It's also an opportunity to self-reflect and acknowledge that you might be giving the situation more attention than it actually needs. So the fourth step is actually to forgive. It took me a very long time to accept that you forgive someone not for their good but for your own. There's nothing worse than holding a grudge against someone or something for years while they happily move on with their life and they don't even remember that they ever hurt you. And the reality is that doing this only hurts you more. And I realized that to truly let go, sometimes you have to forgive people who aren't even really sorry. Sometimes you have to accept an apology that you will probably never receive. And it takes a lot of strength and courage to do that. So no wonder this step is the hardest for me. And that's why while I forgive people, I never forget what they did to me. I navigate around them in future carefully so that I don't give them an opportunity to hurt me anymore. Yes, I know many of you won't agree with me and my philosophy for forgiving but not forgetting. but this is what works for me. And then the fifth and the last step is to focus on the blessings and express gratitude. When you focus on all the good things that you have around you and express gratitude, the heart fills with joy and fills you with positivity. And positivity brings happiness, which helps you let go. So there you go, friends. Here is my recipe to letting go. And today's free resource for you is a daily detox affirmation to help you let go. Say, Alexa, open detox affirmations to get started. I'm also adding the link in the show notes below. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for loving, liking, sharing, supporting the podcast. Remember, sharing is caring. I love your feedback, emails, and messages, so please keep them coming. We are now an audience spanning across 25 countries, and our tribe is growing. I look forward to seeing you again in our next podcast. Till then, keep empowering the world.